morning, Bruce. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Arrow. Thank you. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. I want to talk to you about why you don't like sardines. I mean, the way you broke it out with Ellen Birkin, I mean, it's like, come on, Bruce, eat them.
I do not understand how people like sardines. Never have. And if you are a lover of sardines, man, you're committed to that love. It's crazy.
Well, one of the things that I've learned is I like to go in and try to find new flavors. And the thing that I learned about sardines is that you've got to have something that has a higher acid level in order to break that fishy kind of a flavor to it. And so I'll turn it into kind of like a ceviche of sorts.
Well, let me ask you this. So when like you're biting the sardine, like it's a little fish, like it has the head and the tail. Is it like firm to the bite? Like I think it freaks me out a little bit.
Well, I crush it, so therefore I don't even get to see what the body looks like. I crush it down, and then this way, and I like it better than tuna fish is what I do.
Wow. Okay. You know, Arrow, we're not going to have sardines together. We're going to have lunch, but you'll sit with Ellen on that side of the table. And
you are a master at conversation. I mean, all your conversations, it's like you just say, it comes from the top of the mind. But do you do show prep?
Well, oh my God, what a compliment. Thank you. I do show prep, and I go in with research that the team over at iHeart and Airmail that I'm partnered with, they kind of deliver like a sort of one sheet. And then I look at it, Arrow, to be honest with you, and then I really kind of say, if someone's plugging something, it's easy to sort of focus in on a sort of job that they want to plug. But that's always where then I want to veer away from, because I really want the hour to be, what are the things, if I'm having lunch with Ellen Barkin, that I want to know. And quite honestly, like Ellen, someone who I know personally for a long time. My show is a mix of people that I know and people that I don't. And I learned so much about Ellen, and I knew so much already, but like, her early years at the School of Performing Arts.
Yes.
You know, the amount of times she was told she was untalented, unattractive, don't do this, she's in the wrong room, to what you know, on Tender Mercies with Robert Duvall, what he taught her, and and the strength of where all this who she is as a human. So I like to go in, long answer, free form. Yeah. So if I'm doing my job correctly and I'm listening, I'm going to be able to pivot when someone says something, because I'm like, oh, wow, they just said something. So if they're, let's say, talking about their parents, now they've brought me into the room, and where normally I might not say, tell me about your relationship with your dad, they've brought me into that room where I can then say, so let's talk about that. Like, how did that feel? Like, who was your father to you in that? So it's very fun for me, because I do love talking to people, and I get really filled up learning about people. So kind of my restaurant background and putting food in front of us, because there's so much romance at the table, that I love to not be overly prepared, but when it's a slippery slope, because if I don't know enough, all of a sudden, sometimes I'm like, ooh, where am I going with this? I'm a little lost now. So it can get a little tricky, because I don't want the person to be like, this guy's a dope.
See, that's every reason why I took on a job at a grocery store, because I just wanted to hear people's stories. And when you've got every age, every group, everybody there, it's like, tell me more. Just give me more input.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that all came from years of being in the restaurant business, because it was two sides. One of the things that I loved about being in the restaurant business was not just the customers that came in, but the people I worked with, because their stories to me were so interesting. The people that worked behind the line, the people that were making the salads, the people that were serving, the people that were cleaning. These are people. And a lot of times people overlook these jobs, and they're kind of like just in the service end, and they just sit down, and then yet the experience we had to deliver and the relationships, because it was my job at the Palm. When I was at the Palm, was all about relationships.
Yes.
It was very clear, like I had my responsibilities, my duties, but it was really, this is about relationships with the internal customer and the external customer, and how to make that dance work so everybody in their day is is happy. And that hospitality piece that I think was kind of genetic, Arrow, because my great grandfather started it's been generational, allows me, I think, to sit at the table, A, with credibility, and B, with just an open heart of having done and been in the room with when it worked, when it didn't work, how to salvage something, how to make someone happy when they were unhappy, how to celebrate life. Because I always said, like, going to the restaurant, people go to the restaurant to celebrate life, whatever is happening in their life. And I think sitting at the table, a table for two, which is really about that. It's about celebrating life and being kind and curious and somewhat provocative at times, but just learning about people and how they got themselves into their room and created the life that they want, the good times, the bad times. I mean, it's interesting, Sharon Stone talks about season one, like when she couldn't get a job or when she came after Basic Instinct, the town turned on her, and like she was nominated for an Academy Award for Casino, I believe, and no one would give her a dress and no one would do this. And she was like, blackballed. And you're like, wow, like who knew that? Like who knew? Or John Hamm basically saying, I gave myself 5 years and I was at the end of it. Like I was, he'd lost his parents. He was, living way out, not in Hollywood, and he was trying to make it happen. And just before he was about to like give up his op, so I'm fascinated by people, and certainly what I hope with Table for Two is the people we invite that and say yes want to connect that way. We invite people. Sometimes they say no. They're just like, it's not my jam. I don't know Bruce Bozzi, or But when they say yes, I never take it personally. That's like the big thing. Like, don't take it personally. I always leave the table so happy. I mean, Sienna Miller, she was season one. We fell in love literally at the table. She just had a baby. She's like, I think this is from our lunch. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But season two is great. We have Barkin, we have Jeff Goldblum, we have Colin Jost, we have Michael Mann, who's this amazing director, Ferrari, Miami Vice, Matt Bomer, the most beautiful, talented man in Hollywood, Divine Joy Randolph, who won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for The Holdovers, Sam Taylor Johnson, who's out right now with Back to Black, the biopic on Amy Winehouse. We got Christian Louboutin coming up. I think we have Emma Roberts' book. She's coming up. So we have some cool people. It's just, and I like, I did Doug Brinkley, and, Doug Brinkley is all about the environment. He's one of the smartest people I met. And that was intimidating to me because I'm like, wow, I'm talking to Doug Brinkley. I'm not talking to just an actor like that I know about. Like I, have to read things and talk and hold my own with this man who's been in these rooms. And it was so fascinating to me. And the most important thing I think for me, and I'm rambling here, is to be able to say, I don't know. If someone brings something up, be like, no, I don't know that. Like, explain that to me. Not like I don't have to be the expert. I just have to be interested and curious and honest. And I think that's what makes the show special on both sides.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bruce, after listening to the first season and making it a part of my drive, it makes me want to go out, and it did make me go out and have dinner with more and more people, because before it was just my wife and I, but no, it's got to be a group. We got to get to, together and have these conversations. And I can't thank you enough for that inspiration to be with other people.
Thank you. Honestly, that means so much today to me, and today you've made my day. Like that really, that goes deep, and that's really what this show's about. So that means I'm doing my job, and I really appreciate that.
Please come back to this show anytime, dude. The door is always going to be open for you.
Awesome. I appreciate that. I will take you up on that. Thank you.
Be brilliant today, okay?
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. You too. Have a wonderful and have a great, safe Memorial Day weekend as we enter into it.